don't feel like dealing with this today, okay? So can you just...
What? You want me to hide in the bathroom like a simp?
Now, a lot of the drama that we start to see unfold from episode 5 onwards stems from the events of Go Season 2, where Kane and Effie tried to set up Lauren in episode 9. Tariq told Effie in confidence that Lauren caught Kane and Brayden on a wire, and where Tariq was convinced that Lauren wouldn't talk to law enforcement, Effie couldn't take that risk. So we saw her approach Kane, who tasked Brayden to kill Lauren, but Brayden is a character who isn't with the smoke, and so even though he was in on the plan, he was actually on the verge of letting Lauren go before Effie came in and took over. Effie knocked Lauren unconscious and pushed her car into a river, thinking that would be the end of Lauren, but to the shock of us as the audience in episode 1, and to the shock of Effie in episode 8, Lauren survived. Now it was just a waiting game until we saw this secret throw the Street family into complete disarray, and now that Effie finds herself in handcuffs, the questions we have to ask is, will Effie talk, and will she snitch on Tariq St. Patrick and their entire drug organization to save herself? So in the rest of this video, we're going to be dissecting Effie's next move in a bit more detail, and why I believe Effie will hold it down, despite her past where she's previously burned Tariq before, which I will touch on later on. Now just taking it back for a moment, going into episode 8, the questions we were asking before Effie was arrested for attempted murder was, would Diana snitch? We knew that Jenny Sullivan and Blanca Rodriguez would come down hard and use every single tool at their disposal to try and get her to flip. But I did maintain, she was someone who would stay strong for the Tejadas, even if she's not as strong as Monet, Drew or Kane. We all know all she wants to do is go to Stansfield, get her education, graduate and live a normal life away from this drug dealing game that only ends in death or jail, and it would have been easy for her to flip for her own benefit, but she didn't. This meant law enforcement had set their sights on someone else, but with law enforcement breathing down the entire drug organization's neck with this RICO, Tariq and Monet knew they had to do something to throw them off. Now they created a very clever plan which was set up by Monet, Tariq St. Patrick and Davis. The plan was to set up Effie in a way where she'd get caught transporting product through No Cap's coffee cups. Diana fed the information to Cooper Sachs, who gave the information to Jenny Sullivan and Blanca Rodriguez, and so they put a tail on Effie in the form of Paz Valdez's son, Junior. Now from the perspective of the Street family, they kept everybody in the dark including Kane and Effie, because they couldn't risk everybody knowing the plan, because they knew this RICO was banging at their door, and they had to do something to throw law enforcement down the wrong direction, and it definitely worked. The product in the warehouse was switched to sugar, which is also an Easter egg to Kane's powdered sugar move in season 2. Now even though Effie was pissed that they set her up, she said she would have done the same thing, and I do think she appreciates the fact that Tariq and Monet had the chance to throw Effie under the bus to save Diana, but they didn't, and I do think this will be at the forefront when she's being pressured by Blanca and Jenny in episode 9, but I'm going to come back around to that later on. Law enforcement knew after their latest attempt to bust Tariq and the Tejadas drug organization failed, their entire case was completely fucked, and so they only had one move that they could make, arrest Effie for attempted murder and try and make her flip.
That girl Effie, she tried to kill me. I believe you. I do. But right now, I do not have a single shred of hard evidence to go on.
Now we do have to bring this up because earlier in the season, Jenny said she never had a single shred of evidence to go on, because by Lauren's own admission, she was unconscious. So what changed? After the failed attempt to get Diana to flip and where they failed with their drug raid, arresting Effie on attempted murder and trying to get her to flip is the only way. So we saw Effie coming face to face with Lauren, where Lauren ID'd her, but Kane also got a glimpse of Lauren. Now on Kane seeing Lauren, this was a huge fumble by Jenny Sullivan, and I do think this is a vital clue that can't go unnoticed. What Jenny did in this scene by bringing Lauren to ID Effie was expose Lauren. Even though she's currently in protection until they deal with this case, we all know Lauren's in contact with Tariq, and she's not exactly in the best of mindsets. We've seen her escape before, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see her try again, because I highly doubt law enforcement are going to have any luck with Effie. So not only will Jenny feel somewhat responsible for Cooper Sachs' death when she finds out, I wouldn't be surprised if this results in Lauren's death as well, because we all know what Kane's going to want to do. He's going to want to take out Lauren. But first he's going to go straight to Brayden and question why Lauren's alive, and he'll want Lauren taken care of. But I did say it before, and I'm going to say it again. Sometimes if you want a job done, you have to do it yourself. And I don't think he's going to trust Brayden in killing Lauren again. So Jenny Sullivan definitely made a huge mistake, one that could result in yet another death. Now let's just rewind it back to Power for a moment before we come to the events of episode 9. Because it is easy to see why many would think Effie would snitch on Tariq, because she did snitch on him before. Tariq was dealing at Cho and stepping on Effie's territory, so she eliminated her competition, because she was dealing at Cho as a way to get by in season 6 of Power. So in Power, it was checkmate to Effie. But fast forward to Go season 3, regardless of what happened in the past, Tariq, Effie and Kane, as well as Brayden, they all had to work together for the greater good. The greater good being they needed to move weight for Nomar, because if they don't, they're dead. But their drug organization is now going to be on pause, and now they all seem to be doing what they believe is best for themselves. Monet's looking to establish her control over the Tejada business once again. Drew's drowning in his sorrows, Diana wants out the game, Effie's been arrested, and Weston Holding is a Ponzi scheme, and there's no telling what Lucas Weston's next move is. And Kane now wants Effie to flip on Tariq St. Patrick. So all this teamwork and harmony that we saw in the early parts of season 3, which they worked so hard to build, I think we can safely say is completely gone. And I really don't believe it's going to be the same ever again. Although I do see them working together again, because as I mentioned, Noma doesn't care about Tariq and the Tejada's problems. She runs a global empire and she'll want her cash. Now, one person who definitely doesn't seem like he's on the same page as everybody else is Kane Tejada. For pretty much the whole of season 3, we've been praising Kane for his character development and how he's grown as a person. He's taking a step back, and instead of shooting first and thinking later, he's making calculated moves. But are we about to see Kane make his first mistake of season 3? And I'm not just talking about him asking Effie to flip on Tariq, that definitely has a part to play. But him falling for Effie is a game-changing moment for his character. After finally getting into bed with Effie, you definitely get the sense he's falling for her. He also hid in the bathroom, and he was also indirectly trying to tell Effie, do not trust Tariq. And if it wasn't for Drew smashing shit upstairs, I do wonder how this conversation would have progressed, because he was never fully on board with the plan to set up Effie.
You went behind my back.
And I was trying to protect you.
You're protecting yourself as always.
Now, Effie is a character who always looks out for number 1, and Tariq knows it because of what he's experienced in the past at Chode. But Kane doesn't know Effie like Tariq does. So with Kane saying there's no strings attached to him playing with Effie's tuition, I feel like Effie's using Kane as a bit of a rebound and also to get by at Stansfield. She was really in love with Tariq, and those feelings just don't disappear. She had dreams of going to Cali and she wanted Tariq by her side. And even if they aren't on good terms at this moment in time, I still don't think Effie will give up any information on Tariq. But Kane definitely wants her to flip. We've got Kane dressed as Effie's lawyer trying to convince her to flip on Tariq St. Patrick. And now we're back to where we were, Kane's obsession with trying to bring Tariq down, something we were used to seeing in seasons 1 and 2. But looking at this from Kane's perspective, you can understand why he doesn't trust Tariq. Apparently Sax told Diana that Tariq tried to set her up to get arrested, and after he saw Lauren alive, he's gonna think Tariq or Braden had something to do with it. But do I see Effie flipping on Tariq? I do think the trailer makes it look that way, but I wouldn't be surprised if she flipped the script on Kane. Because Effie is true streetwise, she knows the consequences because she tried to take Lauren out for being a snitch. But what I'm intrigued to see is what Effie thinks about Kane asking her to flip on Tariq. She knows what Kane's done in the past to Tariq and how he can't be trusted. And I think Kane asking Effie to flip on Tariq will only confirm Kane can't be trusted. So what's her next move? Is she better off siding with Kane, or is she better off siding with Tariq St. Patrick? I think we all know the answer. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section and let me know how you see this playing out in both episodes 9 and 10. Will Effie flip on Tariq, or could we potentially see a flip of the script? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.